welcome to DVD Live Volume 6.
Now this edition is absolutely jam-packed. We've got drift action from Oran Park, we've got a pair of VX GTSs that are beyond comprehension, and we throw a set of big stoppers onto Liam's VL. So sit back, relax and enjoy it.
Alright, on the cover of our Summernats issue 125 we had Jason Way's flamed VK two-door panel van. Let's have a look at it on film.
I'm a big believer of building a car with a theme. The original goal of the car was actually to have a cool work bus. We sort of went a little bit overboard.
Dubbed Deliverance, this sedan delivery started life as a spruce green wagon. Then the rear doors were deleted, as well as the side glass. Painted plain white, it was the shop runaround car.
It's a 1984 VK station wagon that we converted to a two-door sedan delivery, as in like the American sort of style, low roof, two doors, just to give it a lower, fatter sort of look. Basically, we sort of started off with closing the rear doors, widening them all in, removing all the glass. Then we sort of sheet metaled the outside of it all, and then blended it all together. To get the Group C kit on there, it wasn't difficult. The hardest part about doing it was actually getting the body kit. The modifications required were really only towards the rear wheel arches and the rear bumper bar. There was a lot of panel modifications though to make everything fit and make everything work with the big wheels and the airbag suspension.
Hair and paint now covers the outside panels, with the old school flame job blown out at the same time. 18-inch by 10-inch wheels are considered massive on the rear of any car, but in this case they support the pointy end, with even bigger 18 by 11-inch wheels filling the rear arches.
We designed like the old Hot Wheels sort of cars, low, big wheels, all that sort of stuff. We wanted something to stand out on the white. When initially we just did a 5-litre engine cover with this style flames on it, and it looked really, really good. So we thought we'd carry that through to the outside of the car, and something that's nice and bright and leery and sort of large and over-exaggerated.
Never known for doing a half job, Jason had the trim match to the overall theme of the car, with beige velour covering the whole interior, which is illuminated by a heap of downlights to show off the extensive trim work.
Oh, the interior just took hundreds and hundreds of hours. I'm a big believer of building a car with a theme, so I like to, what's on the outside, sort of bring it all inside as well. Yeah, there's a lot of custom wood work and a lot of handcrafting all the flames and then gluing them to all the custom wood and then sort of stretching all the material over them to give it the effect that it's got. .304 injected engine that we've had stroked out to 355. We've put a baby cam in there, cleaned up the heads and cleaned up the intake manifold, matched those to the heads. Really, it's nothing sort of crazy. Made 210 kilowatts at the wheels. Yeah, so it's nothing crazy. It's just something that's drivable, usable. As the car was our daily driver for a while, we didn't want to go too radical on that side. Airbags, we were told with the airbags that they were going to be a straightforward fit-up sort of thing. As always, they never are. So we spent, again, a lot of hours and a lot of fabricating all new lower rear control arm mounts and top airbag mounts, front struts, all that sort of stuff. It was a big job in the end, not as easy as what that all sort of said it was going to be.
Deliverance was unveiled on the Friday night at Summernats 20, which is also the motivation for the insane attention to detail that has gone into the entire project.
We've pretty well got what we wanted, but sort of a little bit unpractical now for what we'd originally planned for using as a work hack. Well, there are a few more things in mind that we're going to do to it, which is going to make it totally impractical, but it's going to make it exactly what we wanted originally.
Not content with being placed into street class, Jason plans to return with a new colour scheme, suicide doors, and a van load of other custom mods.
The sport of drifting is largely dominated by Japanese imports, but these guys are flying the Commodore flag high. Let's have a look at how they do it. Well, I'm here with Tim Sorensen and his VL Turbo Wagon drift car here. Now Tim, tell us a bit about the car. What do you got under the bonnet here?
Well, under the bonnet we've got a RB20 2-litre 6-cylinder turbo from a R32 Skyline. Not many modifications, just a front mount intercooler, turbo smart blow-off valve and 3-inch exhaust from the dump pipe back.
So, okay, so pretty basic mods. What kind of power does it put out?
I haven't had it dynoed, but about 180 kilowatts I think they put out.
We're going to, Tim's going to show us how to drift. So we'll have a bit of fun here. Try and show you guys how it's done. What kind of things have you modified in the suspension to make it work on the track?
Mainly stiffer springs and better shocks. It runs Petters gear. Thicker sway bars, but for Commodores are a really big thing for them.
Just a bit more warming up, I think. This front end grip's pretty important. Okay, all moving along. Inside, we've got pretty basic modifications, you know.
WRX seats, better drift steering wheel.
Yep.
The standard steering wheels are pretty bad in these. Not much else, just a boost gauge and stripping the rest of the interior out.
Right.
Just to get a bit of weight out of it.
And hydraulic handbrake there as well.
That's the main thing you need to, yeah, because the Commodore handbrakes are pretty rubbish.
Yep.
Get the lines made up to join up where the rubber hose joins up at the diff.
Okay.
So it just joins in with the back brake line.
Right, okay.
And activates the rear calipers instead of the drums inside the discs.
Okay, right, easy. Obviously in the back here,
Yep.
lots of stockies.
Yep, you can fit plenty of them in there. That's
Yeah.
what's good about having a wagon.
Yeah, absolutely. And say at an average drift event, how many tyres would you go through?
6 pairs in a full day, I'd say, at
6
least.
pairs in a full day,
Yeah,
wow.
at least.
You run them till they pop?
You shouldn't really, but sometimes you do. It's good to get your money's worth out of the tyres.
Absolutely.
Alright, I'll try and do a third gear engine this time. Got so hairy, but good when it works. Clutch in, big rev. Handbrake. Turning the throttle. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Tim.
No worries.
Okay, here we are with Pete Hodkinson and his VL drift car. What brought you to drifting?
My mate Timmy got me into it.
Yeah.
Come out a few times to watch and he got me onto it and now I'm hooked.
Why VL?
Cheap. I've always liked VLs. I've had a few VLs when I was younger. And that.
Cool. All right, so you bought yourself a VL shell. Engine-wise, what do we got here?
RB20, a gearbox out of a Skyline, VN diff, 411s with a locker, front mount intercooler, exhaust 3-inch straight through,
Suspension-wise?
full Petters, shocks and springs right round, biggest sway bars, all Novelhane bushes right through the whole car to sort of stiffen it up, make it nice and solid. Strut brace for extra support in the front.
Yeah, no, we've noticed that all 3 cars, you're basically running the same sort of suspension setup. pretty basic stuff.
Yeah, easy to do and cheap really. So
Yeah, that's it. It shows, you know, the VL's a good option, or a Commodore full stop's a good option to go drifting.
definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. Cool, man. Thanks for that. Okay, I'm here with Mario Griffer with his VL Calais Turbo drift car. Now, Mario, what do you got under the bonnet here?
I'm running an RB25, running the RB20 turbo gearbox, brass button clutch.
What have you done to set this car apart from your average VL street car to make it a drift car?
Redid front and rear suspension, put knife aim bushes front and rear, oversized sway bars front and rear, adjustable strut tops, a 3-inch negative camber, spaced the wheels out, 30mm, put a VN diff to make the track wider.
So basically, you what do you run? Just a racing seat in the front, and
Just run a racing seat with a 4-point harness.
now at your average meeting, you know, how many sets of tyres do you think you'd go through?
On a day one, like a full Saturday, maybe 20.
20 sets of tyres.
10 pairs, 20 times. That's usually 15s. 17s, you probably go for half of that.
So 17's last a bit longer. All right, well, enough talking. Let's get out there.
Here we are, we're still at Power Cruise 8 at Eastern Creek, and we're in front of Shannon Peterson's VK. Most people would know that from summer. Now it's ripping huge skids on the burnout pad. But right now we're going to check out Liam fitting a set of PBR brakes thanks to Repco.
I'm chasing some new brakes for my VL. I like the look of that kit, man. What can you tell me about it?
Okay, basically that's just an upgrade on it. What vehicle have you got?
It's going onto a VL Commodore.
A VL, okay, no worries. I've got a kit out the back. Basically what it is, updated rotors, upgrade calipers, all your hoses, so your whole braking system and performance pads as well.
Cool.
Basically it's just a bolt-on system, no modification, and away you go.
Cool.
Did you want to have a look at the kit? Look out the back?
That'd be great, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Sweet. Mate, that'll do. I'll take it. Alright, so we've got big plans for this thing, engine-wise. We're going to need some bigger brakes to pull up all that extra power. We've got some big PBR performance brakes from Repco. We're just about to fit them now. Okay, so these are the massive 330mm rotors from the PBR kit and the twin piston calipers. You can see here, they're much bigger than the VL brakes. These are standard VL brakes. The VL brakes had a single floating piston. These are a twin piston, not unlike the setup on VTs. It is a kit based around the VT system. What you're going to need to get the VT caliper to fit there is an adapter bracket, which is included in the kit. It's just bolt on, bolt off, straight swap, upgrade your brakes, 330mm slotted rotors and twin piston calipers. That should get it pulling up. Right, so here is the PBR front assembly. It's a big 330mm slotted rotor. It's a VT twin piston style caliper and the braided brake line. The braided brake lines, they hold a bit more tension in the lines, gives a bit better pedal feel. The twin piston caliper should be clamping down a lot better than the VL piston type. And the disc is just, it's massive. So we're going to start on the front end. Now disassembling the front end requires removing this caliper. We won't disconnect it from the system yet, we'll just hang it out of the way. Then we can take off the old disc and replace it with the PBR new one. Then we can move on to the caliper, replacing it with the PBR one, and then finally the brake line with the braided one. So let's get into it. Right, now pulling this little cap off exposes the inner workings here. What we do is we bend down the flaps on the pin, take the knot off, and we can simply pull off the old disc and slot on the new PBR one. Okay, so we obviously need to grease everything up to keep it moving freely. Got our high temp bearing grease here. You can see the difference between the old and the new bearings. The old ones all worn out. These are new ones that do come with the kit. So We'll replace them. So this is our adapter bracket to suit the bigger twin piston caliper. Obviously it won't bolt straight on to the single piston one here on the VL. So we've got this little adapter, we're just going to bolt it on now, just to save ourselves a little grief because there's not going to be much room once the 330mm rotor goes on. Okay, so we've just thrown the braided brake line to the back of the PBR caliper. Now it's time to replace the old single piston with the brand new twin piston one. What we're going to do now is remove the old brake line and the old caliper together, and we'll just straight swap for the PBR one. Brake fluid is an abrasive kind of thing, and what it's done here is it's fused the two together, it's fused the joint together. All we're getting with the spanner is slippage, and it's just going to burr the bolt. We don't want that because it's going to leave us in a whole world of trouble. So we're going to use the vice grips. It's going to give us a bit more leverage. Hopefully we can undo it that way. Alright, so the old rubber hose is off here. We won the battle with the vice grips eventually. The new braided brake line's on and hooked up to the caliper. So now all we've got to do is put the caliper onto the disc and bolt it into the bracket we bolted on earlier, and then bleed the system. That's an important step, so we'll get cracking on that. Alright, so it's going to be important to bleed the brake lines. What you're going to want is clear tubing and a clear bottle all the way through, so you can see when the fluid colour changes, that's when you know that you've flushed out all the old stuff and all the new stuff has run through the system. What you want to be doing, rope a mate in, and he can hop in the car and pump the brake pedal, build up a bit of pressure in the lines. Down here, get your spanner over the end of the bleed nipple, connect up your hose to it and into the bottle. When there's pressure in the lines, open the valve and flush it through, and just keep doing that until you can see that there's no more air coming through. Alright, so with the front end back together, we can put our wheels back on, drop it down off the stands and get cracking on the rear. So there you have it, our PBR performance braking kit fitted up that we got from Repco. It's all installed, looking nice. It's a great looking kit, really fills the gap behind the rims nicely. Bet it stops on a dime, let's take it for a drive.
We recently had HSV's latest E-Series GTS for a road test. Let's check out and see how well it went.
In Volume 4 of our live series of DVDs, we took two of the new E-Series HSVs to Oran Park Raceway for a run on their northern circuit and out onto the skid pan, which, despite the punishing conditions, proved their place at the top of the Commodore food chain.
Before you see what you pay to come and see, anytime you low, come and join the boys from Mojo.
Those two models were the Senator and the Club Sport R8. Our original plans were to have the GTS there at the same time for some proper back-to-back testing. However, due to some technical difficulties, we had to wait until now to get our sweaty hands onto the GTS.
For music I would die under electric skies. With music I can fly under electric skies. Well, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3.
Wearing a colour known as Evoque, this dark grey GTS features the muscular and torquey 6-litre LS2 V8 under the bonnet. Valued at $77,000 plus on-road costs, this relatively subtle-looking barnstormer had countless people stopping to check it out while we cruised through Sydney streets.
For music I would die under electric skies.
After our punishing efforts at Oran Park with the Senator and GTS, HSV kindly asked if we could leave some tread on the tyres this time, so we decided a more subdued road test was in order.
Electric skies.
Without even fully stretching the legs of the 307 kilowatt beast, there was no questioning its animalistic potential lurking under the loud pedal. A quick stab of the throttle was more than enough to have you holding onto your license by a bare thread.
For music I would die
plates on the GTS read GTS MRC, with the MRC standing for Magnetic Ride Control, which is the next generation in semi-active electronic suspension, meaning 2 different suspension settings are available at the push of a button. The brakes that measure 365mm front and 350mm rear do a great job of taming the beast when needed, and the ESP, or Electronic Stability Program, ensure all 4 of the 20-inch wheels are kept firmly in touch with the road. The 275 wide rear tyres also playing a major role in the handling department. We pushed the GTS through some twisty bits on the way to Palm Beach while working on a Street Commodores internet forum cruise, and the car stuck to the road like it was on rails, no doubt thanks to the VE's outstanding chassis, but also to the magnetic ride control that stiffened up the ride and body roll.
Open up your mind, let me show how to get those blues to go. Unlock your box, your treasure box with the key of mystery. And a time you low, come and join the boys from Mojo.
With the wide sticky rubber squealing into the apexes, the car stayed flat and the handling predictable. With so much grunt living under your right foot, you truly get a lot of car for your money. Overall, we were really impressed with the car, although not nearly as much as if it was manual. Who buys an auto GTS anyway?
We got wind that the boys and girls on the Calais Turbo Forum are going to go for a bit of a cruise, so we packed a few cameras and went along for a look.
Despite some pretty gloomy weather marring the first half of the day, the latest calaisturbo.com.au crews still managed to pull more than a few tidy VLs. Upon our arrival at the meeting point, it looked like numbers would be down on the group's usual size, but right before we took off, we were joined by several more RB-powered Commodores, including 2 super clean yellow over silver BT1 replicas.
To the chaos that I left, to the problems that surrounded me. You just wait and see.
The rain had held off for 2 hours before the start of the cruise, despite threats from ominous-looking clouds. The decision was made to carry on regardless, but 5 minutes into the cruise, the rain god struck us with a downpour of biblical proportions.
Home again, to the chaos that I left, to the problems that surrounded me. You just wait and see. I know I hurt all your feelings.
However, just as soon as it had come, the rain passed through and we could continue our trek. Some enjoying the wet roads, others struggling to maintain traction when their engines hit boost. The assembled crew finally arrived in Palm Beach after a short detour, apparently to the dismay of the local rangers who promptly asked us to leave. The car park an orchestra of squealing tyres as the group fled in fear of a parking ticket.
We're here on the Calais Turbo Cruise to Palm Beach. We've got Dallas here. This is Dallas's Calais. I originally bought the car with an RB20 in it, an auto gearbox. He's done the conversion over to an RB30 ET with a manual box. What else are you going to install for it?
Just going to go get it painted. Plan on doing that soon. Just tossing up what colour to go, metallic red or straight red over silver. And just a few other little things.
This is our old mate over here. This is his VL Turbo.
I bought this car a couple of months ago. For stock T3, stock as a rock. It's put a bigger front mount, bigger T4 turbo, aftermarket extractors.
Alright, this is Maz, and this is his yellow BT1 inspired VL Turbo. Mate, why don't you tell us a bit about the car?
I bought the car as a rolling shelf at the start. Yep. The whole engine, interior, everything, and put the 20-inch AMAs on it. And then it's just practically standard, but took it to the quick round 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And I ran a 12.5 at 109 miles.
Wow, that's pretty great.
Before the stock turbo was running about 13.8. Now it's running about 12s.
This is Carl. He actually organised the cruise on the Calais Turbo forums. This is his Gold VL. Carl, why don't you tell us a bit about the car, mate?
Started off as a Series 1, so 1986.
So it's an original turbo engine.
Original turbo engine.
Right behind us here is Ahmed's VL Turbo. It is totally smooth. I love the bay. It's beautiful, mate. Tell us a bit about it.
I bought the car in bits and I was really in Highfield, and I just wanted to build it from scratch. So as you can see, I've taken out the fuse box, I've cut that rail, and I've taken out a lot of things. I wanted that to be like one of the nicest engine bays.
Yeah. Factory, yeah, BT1 ex-copper.
Factory turbo?
Yep.
Did they do that to the front bar, or was that your doing?
What was that?
Did they do that to the front bar, the coppers, or?
Yeah.
Nice one. All right, cool, man. It's pretty tidy. All right, we managed to find something here that wasn't RB30 powered. This is Dave's VXSS with its LS1. Mate, I understand it's a bit warmed over. You want to tell us what's done to it?
Yeah, mate. It's got tri-Y pacemaker extractors, twin 2.5-inch exhaust. You got a over-radiated cold air intake just here. And it's currently got 225 at the rears.
Yep. It's Ahmed's VL Calais. Mate, why don't you tell us a bit about it?
I bought it actually, it wasn't a Calais, but I turned it into a Calais, and inside out paint job, rebuilt the motor, new turbo, high float, 3-inch exhaust, and front mount is pretty much the only mods I've done.
Yeah, cool. So have you taken out the track yet?
No, I don't have a licence, so I can't drive. But 2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. We'll look for it out at the track at 2 weeks then. And what's it good for at the track, do you know?
I haven't run it yet. Got to get a new transmission first. This year I want to try and get into the 12s at least. Hopefully in a year's time go for 10s.
Run out the track yet?
No, mate, but I expect it to run about pretty low 13s.
Yeah, definitely, man. Consistent.
Yeah.
Enough power to get you in trouble on the street.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Anything left to do on it?
In about a couple of months' time, you'll see me on the track.
Out the track? What do you reckon to run?
Maybe a low 11.
Definitely want to watch then.
Yeah, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, mate.
Alright, awesome. Does it dose?
Never doses,
Nice
mate.
one.
Always doses, mate. Yeah, of course it does.
Doses? That's what we like to hear.
Stopping for good at the next car park down the road, it was a good chance for owners to mingle, snap a few pics, and talk about what was going on under one another's bonnets. Mingling was again cut short by the Northern Beaches Rangers, who put anyone whose turbo spooled up on the way out on a warning.
It's coming second time around. I've never been so lucky, never been proud. This time I'm here to stay. Maybe it's forever, or maybe somewhere else. Somewhere that decided there's only one
What, do you know that? You got tickets? Hello, Inspector.
Now the VX GTS is an absolute classic, and these two have only been made better, so let's have a look at them.
lashed into position and made to choose the tightrope of repetition, the escape route. Staring at
No, you're not seeing double. On the screen before you is not one, but two tough as nails VX GTS Commodores, which you should remember from the cover of issue 124 a few months ago. These cars are virtual mirror images of each other, from the British racing green paint right down to the number plates, GTS LS1 and LS1 GTS. These beasts are massively powerful, with over 1100 rear-wheel kilowatts on tap.
you under this
With not much more than a set of wheels and number plates setting the cars apart from the outside, once the bonnets are open you notice a few more differences. The main visual one being the style of forced induction chosen by the two cousins. On one hand, we have Ziggy's GTS, with displacement of 383 cubic inches and boost supplied by way of a Vortec V7 supercharger. Dynamotive was the workshop of choice, managing to squeeze 523 kilowatts or just over 700 horsepower at the treads. Salem's GTS is packing a bit more power than Ziggy's machine, and there's good reason for this. The setup between the rails is unlike Ziggy's, with 402 cubic inches via a cast iron block, eagle crank and Lunati rods. Rather than using pulleys and blowers to make boost, Salem used the twin turbo setup from his previous ride. Rob Vickery and the team from the Horsepower Factory in Dandenong built and tuned the engine, getting 607 kilowatts or 814 horsepower to the back wheels. Both cars used the T56 manual box, with the stock clutches turfed in favour of twin plate items, one by Extreme, one by Exity, respectively. While the VX GTS wheels are a common upgrade for older models, they are not used in either of these cases. The Ziggy's Beast does a great job of spinning the 19-inch FR Simmons, measuring 8 inches on the front and 9.5 inches on the rear, wearing 275 wide Hankook rubber. Black turns white easily as well on the twin Garrett Force weapon, with Toyo Proxies surrounding the 20-inch speedy wheels.
Here I am sitting in Damien Lowe's red VB Chubby, and you'll be seeing that on the cover of 126. In fact, I think that's this issue right now, and we're at Power Cruise 8 at Eastern Creek. But right now, we're going to go for a tour through Kappa's workshop.
Thanks boys, we're here in South Australia, home of Farmers Union Iced Coffee, Cooper's Pale Ale, the Crows, the Power, even the Pie Floater. But we've made the trek north up to Berry in the Riverland, home of orange juice and Kappa Superchargers. Let's have a look. Found our way out to the workshop, and I'll tell you what, we're going to get a private tour because we've got Scott, the workshop manager, here to show us through. Mate, this place is amazing.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going on around here, yeah.
I tell you what, it must be a pretty good job to have.
Oh, it's not bad, yeah.
Now, with the Holdens, what have you got for us? What can you get us to beef the cars up?
We've got everything from basic camshaft upgrades, computer upgrades, through to your supercharger kits, turbocharger kits, engine packages, the whole works.
The whole lot?
Yep.
Custom stuff. Do you guys make the one-off custom type stuff?
Yes, we do, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if someone rings up and they're wanting to put a V6 and a Gemini and supercharge it and put 9 turbos, you can handle it?
Oh, we can supply a lot of the supercharged stuff for that, yeah.
Now, what about postage? You send it out everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere all over Australia and the world, yeah.
Over the world as well? Okay. Weirdest place in the world that you send it to? Come on, somewhere weird.
Dubai.
Dubai, yeah. So there's some chic out there now with a Gen 3 6-litre quad super with Kappa written on the side of it.
Yeah.
Listen, mate, this is a great workshop. We need to have a look around. You want to give us a tour?
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. Mate, you've got a lot of Holden hardware in here. I'll tell you what. Tell us about these two puppies right here.
We've got a few here. We've got our VE SSV 6-litre Gen 4 with our centrifugal supercharger kit on it.
Cool. It's got a few bugs on the front, mate. Is this a bit of a test mule, this one?
Been doing a few kilometres, yeah.
Did I see this at Summer Nats?
Yes. Travelled all the way to Summer Nats and back again.
So you went from here in South Australia and Berry all the way to Summer Nats and back with this? Supercharged?
Supercharged, yep.
Far out. But what about this little puppy over here? I see the big racing brakes on it, mate. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, it's the VZ Alloy Tech engine in this thing with the Vortex supercharged kit with intercooler.
Because I was seeing that, you got the supercharger. Is this a new kit?
It's a reasonably new kit, yeah, just been finished development, and yeah, it's out for sale now. So
it's probably a little bit top secret for us getting this, huh?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
That's what it's all about, Street Commodore fans, top secret stuff. Okay, so we've got the supercharger kit and we've got the intercooler at the front there. This will all be hidden by the front bar?
All behind the front bumper bar, and you can get them either polished or stealth black, however you want.
Fantastic. This looks like the assembly room. You want to just talk me through a little bit about what happens in here?
Well, this is basically where we build all the Vortex supercharger units and all the repair items.
Like a clean room?
Clean room, yeah.
Cool. Okay, we're in the assembly room, but I want to show you something first of all. You want to know how cool the stuff is at Kappa? How ice cold it is? It's so cool, they keep it in the fridge. Have a look at this. Everything's in there, the impellers, the gearboxes, the gear drives, you name it, it's all in there. It starts there and heads this way over the assembly bench. As you can see, we've got the housings here, we've got the gearbox in the middle, the impeller and all the bits and pieces that go into it. That gets put together on this really cool, clean bench. It all comes together here. All of the quality controls done there. And as you can see, there's one here with the impeller on it as well. This, of course, chops up the air and sends it through like a mix master. And then there's the final product, ready to go onto a car. Scott, this is a weapon, mate. What is this?
Now, this is the V2 Vortex unit, the new sealed unit we've developed.
Okay.
Can, basically do away with all your oil drain and feed lines like the earlier units would, and is good for up to about 550, 600
550, 600. What about this one over here? What's the story with that one?
This one's same sort of deal as the V2 SQ, but it's just a polished version that we can also supply.
Scotty, this is the little one, isn't it, mate? What's that one there?
This one's the V9G trim, which is designed for some smaller capacity engines.
That's the smallest one you make?
Smallest one we make, yeah.
But you guys want to see the biggest one, don't you? You want to see the big one? Have a look at this! That's the Z trim. Mate, what does this thing do?
That's designed for engines up to about 1900 horsepower.
Far out, and like big blocks.
Big blocks, 600
huge
cubits,
big things.
yeah. Yep.
Far out. Well, there's the long and the small of it. Mate, thanks for that.
Yeah,
That's
no
pretty
worries.
cool. It's nice in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice and cool in there, yeah. The bloke that does all the work in there likes his air conditioning.
We do, mate. Listen, do you mind if we have a bit of a look through the back?
Yeah, no, for sure. Go for it.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks, man. We'll check you
worries.
later on.
No worries. Always going to be out there for ages.
All right, okay, this is the kit storage area where it's all ready to go. Look at the belts here, straight off the shelf onto your car. Doesn't matter what you've got, these guys have got it in stock. Exhaust systems from the kits, all ready to go. All the pipes and all that sort of stuff. Oh, have a look at this, Holden fans. T1000 for your Commodore. Get it on now, you girly man. Have a look at that. Turbo goes on there, side of the Gen 3, boogie time. But speaking of great stuff, I've got a surprise for you this way. The boys from Kappa don't know we're out here, and dead serious. This is their archive area. This is where they stash all the stuff from the original prototype gear. Look at this stuff. It's all one-off. It's what they use to make the original kits. Holden fans, if you're a Holden fan, look at this. No one has ever seen this before. HSV LS1 intercooler pipe original jig. The original jig. Put it together and it fits. Now, Tony from Kappa doesn't know we're out here, so he'll probably freak 4 shades of you-know-what if we stay here. So go, go. Quick. Stop filming. Run! Now, Street Commodores DVD, we like to cover everything we possibly can in details, and the boys at Kappa really rely on their reputation. That's why they keep everything in stock. Have a look at this in here. This is the box of superchargers, and when I say shipping box of superchargers, I literally mean this is where they keep them. This is the holy grail. If you've got a Commodore and you want a huffer, have a look at them all. You name it, polished, chrome. Do you want an Eaton supercharger, long snout, small snout, high blower, low blower, you name it. There's probably 100 superchargers in here. Have a look.
I was born to die. I'm a butterfly. I just wanted to make me happy, but I never.
The off-the-shelf range here at Kappa is absolutely amazing. I mean, these guys essentially are building this to the strictest quality control because it's export grade. They go out all across the world, and as you can see, these are nothing more than automotive art. This is fantastic stuff, and it means you get a better product on your car. But if you want to up the boost on that blower or the supercharger, well, I'll tell you what, you need a pulley. Have a look at these. Now, as you know, superchargers are all based around boost, and Kappa sells the latest and greatest off the shelf to adjust that boost to whatever setting you want. If you want something customised, they'll take a blank like this puppy here, spin it up, and of course turn out something like that, which is exactly what you're after. Top quality stuff.
To make me happy, but I never seem to.
Scott, this looks like a pretty cool supercharger kit here.
Yep, no, everything's all here ready to be packed up and sent to the customer. Includes everything like your intake tubes, your fuel pump, all your hose clamps, fuel spark plugs, your supercharger unit, and your instruction manual with everything all checked off, ready for you to fit.
Cool, so this all comes boxed up, posted to your door?
Straight to your doorstep, yes.
Is this what I think it is?
Yes, it is, yes. It's the Excalibrator 2 unit for the Holden LS1s.
Far out.
Which will be hopefully be due to release very shortly.
So this is new, this hasn't even been released?
Hasn't been released yet, no.
Street Commodores fans, brand new, never been released. Got the little Holden logo, and of course this is just like a little handheld unit you can plug into the car and
Yep,
play.
plug in, read trouble codes, refine the program from how we supply it or from the tuner suppliers that you can touch it up a little bit yourself.
Fantastic. All right, Street Commodore fans, there's a very elite club here at Kappa. It's called the Wonderwall. And if you read Street Commodores, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, there you go, Street Commodore fans, your one-stop shop for superchargers, Kappa Performance Centre. They do everything, blowers, turbos, bolt-on kits, cold air, you name it, they do it. Head to www.kappa.com.au for more details. See the boys, because they will get your ride smoking.
So that's DVD Live number 6 all wrapped up. It was a pretty big issue. Don't forget about Cruise for Charity 2007 starting in Sydney on July 28th. Check out www.streetcommodores.com for more information.
See you next time.
Oh, shoot.